go. Let's go. Let's go. SleezBall here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my running back tiers list heading into week 6. So to break it down first to start with, you'll see all the running backs at the bottom. They're a little, stacked in this time. Not as many buys this week. So at the bottom left, you'll see the buys on the top, which is Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, A.J. Dillon, Jalen Warren. You can throw them on there too if you want. I don't think I put them in the top 25 anyways. The key injuries that are heading into this week are James Conner to the IR, Khalil Herbert, we don't know yet, but multiple weeks, it says, with a high ankle sprain, and Devon A-Chain knee or A-Chain knee. There's no update yet, but it seems like multiple weeks, possible IR stint for him as well. So those are 3 things to make sure they're all out of your roster. Same with the bye guys as well. And if you wanted to watch my waiver wire video on a couple of those injuries on what to do to help out, I dropped that video before, so you can check that out as well. Let's start balling, baby. Let's dive into it here. Running back 1 is always going to be CMC, man. I know he had a down game versus the Cowboys. He could have punched another one into the 1-yard line, but they did a play action to use check. He had 12 points. They blew him out of the water. But what's interesting about the Niners game last week versus the Cowboys, which I told everyone that we're going to blow him out of the water, guaranteed it. Definitely happened. Wasn't even a close game. I don't think the Cowboys are really contenders at all. But so to the CMC side here, this was the first game of the year in a blowout fashion that we rested CMC. I have a couple thoughts on that as why. The Cowboys were rocking him really hard early. Like, he was taking massive hits early. They were out for blood on him the whole time. It seemed like could have been, they didn't want to rest his body, whatever it was. You saw more Jordan Mason. Elijah Mitchell still out. You'll probably see more Jordan Mason again against Cleveland. But every time CMC's out there, I mean, he's a 20-point pretty much guarantee. I think last week was kind of a fluke versus the Cowboys. He's going to be my number 1 every week that he's out there healthy. Number 2, off the reservation, guys. This is why you subscribe, follow my content right here. I'm even gonna say that he may be the top scoring running back of the week. It is going to be Thursday night on a short week. Isaiah Pacheco versus Denver. Yes, I am putting him at the number 2 spot on the week. Denver has given up an average of 23 plus points a game to the running back 1 every single game this year. They are in absolute shambles, disarray. They don't even care. They let Randy Gregory go for literally pennies on the dollar to the Niners. They just want to rebuild for next year. Sean Payton knows it. They can't stop the run for anything. This should be a 100+ 2 TD smash game for Isaiah Pacheco this week. Number 3, I'm going to stick with the Arthur Smith, Bijan Robinson, but last week, man, was kind of disappointing, or I don't know, disappointing, but teams are now starting to tee in onto the Falcons' run game, and this is like a couple reports or, podcasts and stuff I've been listening to, where they know that Arthur Smith likes to run the ball 30 to 35, 40 times a game, right? So what they've done now is like the Houston Texans, stacking the box, held Bijan to like 50 yards on a ton of carries, 17 touches. He had a receiving touchdown, which saved his day. But if other teams start to do this and force Desmond Ridder to throw, it will be really scary for Bijan. I'm not going to say really scary. He's still a superstar stud, but I don't think you'll see the same production as like CMC level or like high tier 1 running back levels if that is how this game plan starts to play out. I'm not fully bought into it yet. I still think Bijan is an absolute stud. Falcons pass game is so bad that they can stack the box on him. That's how it is. So I'm going to put him at 3 this week. Number 4, he's back from the dead. Raheem Mostert, man. I drafted A-Chain in so many leagues. It drives me crazy. I was on the sell high on Raheem Mostert all the way, which would have been right, 1,000%. And then, of course, A-Chain has his knee injury, and they get Jeff Wilson back, but they get Carolina this week. This should be a 20+. He could even be running back 3, or, if I wanted to switch it with Bijan, he probably will outscore Bijan maybe. But he gets the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be an absolute murder game. They'll be up by 20 by halftime. The Panthers are so bad. They just got beat by the Lions without Amon-Ra, or Lions had so many injuries and still destroyed them. So every time you see Denver and Carolina up here, you got to put those running backs higher than the other ones. Don't just, fall for the big names or be like everyone else. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Saquon Barkley. No, you got to play the script. I have Raheem Mostert at running back 4 this week. This is it. I don't know what is going on with Tony Pollard and Dallas. Coming off a loss, the Niners just destroyed them. They get the Chargers Monday night. The Chargers run D is atrocious. It is time for them to start feeding Tony Pollard. What is going on in Dallas? If he doesn't get 20 touches this week, I'm probably going to start moving Tony out of the top 5 to maybe even 8 at this point. He has not been producing at all. I know the Niners is a tough matchup, but they didn't even give him the ball that much. I know they got blown out too, which game script hurts, but this should be a game where they feed Tony Pollard. Like 100%. I mean, he should dominate this game, should have 15 plus, maybe a touchdown, 20 plus, breakaway. I haven't seen the speed. The snap share has been dropping, and Dak Prescott looks bad. So, I mean, all the signs point to a big game here, so I'm going to ride with it. It is my nervous one out of the top 5. Up there is Tony Pollard, but I'm going to leave him at number 5 this week. Number 6, he's back. The Jaguars are back. Don't worry about Duval. They're fine. Travis Etienne coming off a 35-point game. Now he gets the Colts. This should be an absolute smash play. No Anthony Richardson. They're getting back on track. Division game. I mean, I know the Indy's run D was a little better earlier. It's gotten a little worse the past couple of weeks. They played better competition, so their run D looked better to start. Now it's going to be a rough game here. This is going to be, he's going to see 20 plus touches. He's seeing 84% snap share still, which is like 4th or 5th highest for running backs. I haven't really dove into that yet. I'll do that on Twitter here in a little bit or tomorrow. But man, I mean, ETN, I wish I drafted this guy. I really do. I bought into that Tank Bigsby offseason coach stuff, and he does nothing. This is the ETN show all the way. I could have put him in, even ahead Tony Pollard maybe this week, but I'm just riding that Tony Pollard's going to bounce back. Number 7, the Fantasy King returns. Austin Eckler tweeted today, 99% chance that he plays versus Dallas on Monday night. And man, have they missed him, man. Joshua Kelly has done nothing in his absence. Isaiah Spiller would, come in for a couple snaps here and there. He's done nothing. I don't think they've rushed for over 50 yards since he's been out, and the receiving running back work has gone to shit. So now there's no Mike Williams, right? Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler are going to be fantasy gods, bro. I mean, if they stay healthy, fantasy absolute gods. If you didn't listen to my videos for the past 2 weeks to try and trade for Austin Eckler, it's too late now. That's over. You're not getting him for anything anymore. The show is going to be underway. This could be 20 points a game for him the rest of the season. I like Austin Eckler so much. This is a bad matchup versus Dallas, but I mean, look what Niners just destroyed them. So I don't even know how good really Dallas is. I do like the defense, but their offense is so bad it keeps the defense on the field longer. I like Austin Eckler at 7 this week. Number 8. It's going to be the guy that just scores every game, man. Kenneth, the K9, Bark Adam Walker. So he might have a 20 touchdown year. So I know that I've been seeing the snap share of Zach Charbonnet get higher. But if you're looking at it, that's some of those percentages are games where they're up. The last game, that was a little closer. Zach Charbonnet still saw some snaps here and there, but that was when K9 took like 8 carries and took him down the field. So, and he gets every red zone snap, every red zone carry, every red zone touchdown is going to be Kenneth Walker. They don't have the Geno Smith tush push for Jalen Hurts. It is always going to be K9 getting the ball inside the 5, inside the 10, inside the 20. That's who they rely on. He now gets Cincinnati. Cincinnati could have got shredded by Connor, but he got hurt early. I mean, even that rookie, Amari DeMacario came in with 10 carries, and he averaged 5 yards per carry and a touchdown. So this is a Swiss defense that they could just carve up with Kenneth Walker, and this is going to be a big Kenneth Walker game. I feel like he finds the end zone again. And I really do think, if he could have 20 touchdowns this year at this rate, I really do believe that's possible. At number 9, where is the guy? David Montgomery is driving every Jahmyr Gibbs drafter, me included, crazy. I watch him just plug away, plug away, plug away. Just not great average yards per carry, but I feel like the coach just, Campbell just respects and loves his hard work, grit ability. I know that Jahmyr Gibbs was out last week. I did expect a bigger game from Montgomery with Gibbs out in that matchup, but I mean, he still dropped a 20 bomb, so I mean, nothing to worry about there. Now they get Tampa, though. The run D's still pretty good in Tampa. That's like their strength. Their pass D's not as good. I know they got White back. He's been playing limited snaps last week off the bye week. Should be healthier. Tampa should come out roaring in this game. Honestly, I think it's going to be a closer game than people think with Tampa and Detroit. But I mean, Montgomery's seeing so much volume that it's hard to take him outside the top 10 no matter who he's playing. I'm hoping Jahmyr Gibbs is back. I mean, if you watch Jahmyr Gibbs, he's so much better than David Montgomery. I don't know what's going on with the coaching staff and why they're not playing him, but I like David Montgomery at 9. At number 10, the guy I told you to buy on week 4 was Josh Jacobs, and he's here for the show, boys. So last night, Monday night, 20 carries, 65 yards was a grind game. I feel like they stuffed the run because they knew Devontae Adams was a little banged up with the shoulder. He didn't look the same. So big monster game week 4, still 17-point game week 5. The Raiders' schedule is absolutely immaculate, guys. So think about this for a second right here. They get, right now, New England Patriots at home. Okay, this is amazing. New England Patriots, Chicago, Detroit, New York Giants, and New York Jets. And by the way, the Jets are 10th worst versus the run, and their front is stout, but their offense keeps them on the field so much that those numbers drop. That is absolutely amazing. Playoff schedule: Chargers, Chiefs, Colts. This is why you trade for Josh Jacobs, even if it's more valuable now. The Raiders' schedule is absolutely amazing the rest of the way. I don't care if Jimmy G's the quarterback. They are going to pound Josh Jacobs. Look at Zamir White. Didn't even see the field last night, man. Amir Abdullah played like 2 snaps. This is the Josh Jacobs show all the way. Amazing running back to own right now. Heading down to number 11, it is going to be the old man is tough for me, man. This one's tough. I don't know if I guess I'm going to go Derrick Henry at 11. He's Tyjae Spears taking garbage time touchdowns. I get that. People are kind of like, he's going to play more. The Titans aren't fully out of it yet. So they get Baltimore. Baltimore was strong versus the run to start with. Haven't been as strong lately. They played the Steelers. I know they shut down Najee, but everyone shuts down Najee. He looks slow. I mean, I've been trying to tell you to sell Najee Harris for weeks now. If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, you're either hoping on a miracle that's not going to happen or you're just dumb. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. So, Derrick Henry, I'm going to put at 11 versus Baltimore. I do think he falls into the end zone here. This is going to be like a grunge, low-scoring game, just like the Pittsburgh Ravens game. The Ravens' offense isn't as good, but neither is the Titans. And, God, it's rough to watch this Titan offense operate at all. I know DeAndre Hopkins had a big game, but those were also, garbage time points. It's whatever, but he's still King Henry. He's still going to be number 11 for me. Number 12 just keeps impressing me. I guess I was wrong. Alvin Kamara is getting a insane workload. I don't know if this is like them giving him his last run with the Saints. Last year with us, whatever it is. He doesn't look as electric, flashy, as good as I thought he would, but he's still Alvin Kamara. He still got 14 targets in his first game back. Everyone, that's all they talk about. He did just see 22 touches again. But here's the thing. You have Jamal Williams coming back off IR next week. He's already locked in. I saw an update. I don't know if it's fully official. And then I've been waiting for the Kendra Miller to be sprinkled in. I don't know if they just don't want to use him as a rookie. He's still hurt from TCU injury or what it is. But I mean, Alvin Kamara's got 15 points, 17 points, 22 carries, 80 yards, touchdown, 3 receptions, 17 receptions in 2 games. His numbers are all there for RB1 status. And the Saints schedule gets easy and easier and easier. until the end. So you're going to get Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, and Chicago. Nice stretch, but the playoff stretch gets rough. Atlanta, Detroit. I guess you get Carolina and New York Giants in there, but I don't know how much we'll see of him by that time, but I like him at number 12 right now. Number 13, I missed on the breakout last week, but man, no one else even sees a carry in Cincinnati but Joe Mixon. This is like 100% his backfield, his team. This is another buy low candidate. I mean, he's averaging 10 points a game. He hasn't had that big breakout Joe Mixon game yet, but he is getting insane volume. His usage is number 5 in the NFL right now. It's crazy. And the Bengals are starting to click again. They got Jamar Chase going last week. Joe Burrow finally looked healthy, making plants, making throws with his right foot off his, injured or ankle or heel, whatever it was coming out. They look better. Now they're flat out. The run is on from here, folks. This is going to be the turnaround. Seattle at home. I'm even taking the Bengals to win this. Joe Mixon just needs to fall into the end zone. He gets all the work. There's one touchdown in the year. It's going to get better. It can't just stay like 20 carries for 80 yards and 20 yards receiving and 19 carries and 29 carries for 90. Like, it can't just stay like that. He's going to find the end zone eventually. This is going to be a breakout game for Joe Mixon. I feel like I'm going to put him at number 13 this week. Kyren Williams. Okay, so Mr. I play every snap. I did say to watch out with him last week with Philly, and he had a bad week. Philly's front is very good. Now you get Arizona. This is a smash Kyren Williams 20-point week, unless it's the Cooper Kupp show or Puka Nacua, whatever they do here. But no one else plays this position. And Ronnie Rivers comes in for nothing. So this is it's just like Joe Mixon, just like Josh Jacobs. These are 3 buy low 100% candidates right now that are going to play every single snap in the game. So Kyren Williams, number 14 versus Arizona, I like a ton this week, even though coming off that bad week versus Philly, people are, should we worry about Kyren Williams? No, that's just the Philly front. That's all that is. Heading down to number 15 on the docket, it is going to be the man who kind of fell apart last week, James Cook. People are tweeting out paranoid that James Cook's usage is down. The game before, his usage was down flat out because they were up by 30 points. So this game last week against the Jags, Jacksonville's front was playing out of their mind. So they had to kind of abandon the run and lean on Josh Allen more, and that didn't work out. Now they get the New York Giants, man. You're going to tell me every team runs on the New York Giants like they're a peewee football team, man. This is going to be a smash James Cook game right here. The problem is how long do they keep him in when they get up by 20 or whatever it is? I mean, I can't even watch the Giants offense at this point. If you didn't watch my last video, look, I don't have Saquon Barkley up here yet, man. So if you watch my last video, I said sell all your Giants if you can. I mean, Darren Waller with the tight ends the way they are, you can't sell Waller really, especially coming off like 11 target, kind of a decent game. But man, it is really, really ugly in Giants land, man. Like, I never thought I would keep Saquon like this low, and I'm still not even going to put him on the next one. So at number 16, he's healthy, supposedly today. So it is going to be Javonte Williams. He's supposed to be a full participant in practice versus Kansas City, I think it's at Kansas City this week. I'll make sure. Yeah, at Kansas City. Kansas City's run D is not very good, but again, this could be garbage time points here. I think Denver's, honestly, they should be looking to like move either Javonte or Judy or Sutton, let Marvin Mims in there or something. I mean, this team is very bad, but the volume should be here this game. I feel like it's going to be a Javonte Williams 60-70% snap share over P. Ryan and McLaughlin. If you have McLaughlin, that was a one-time run. Like I said last week, pick up McLaughlin, play him 1 week, he'll give you 10 plus points. He'll give you 14. That was a lock. So I like Javonte Williams at 16 this week. Number 17. There we go. This is even tough for me to put him at 17. We don't know officially yet if he's even back. He's still got that injury, still practicing limited, but he practiced limited last week and still didn't play. And the Giants season is over. Like, let's be honest. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Saquon Barkley 1 year contract going on right now. Anyways, I mean they should be like, hey, what's going on, Cleveland or Baltimore? You guys need a running back. You know what I mean? Something like that. But if he stays on the Giants, I love Saquon so much, man. I feel so bad for him. He's literally like one of my favorite running backs. I love his running style. One of the best pass blockers, run blockers, running between the tackles, pass catcher. Just in the wrong situation, man. He backpacked him all the way last year by himself, and they paid Daniel Jones because of it, which is mind blowing. They play the Dolphins. This game could be over before it starts, and we don't even know if he's playing it. So this is a temper your expectations. You know, he's still not fully active yet. So I'm going to leave him at 17 for now, and that is super tough for me to do with Saquon Barkley. Number 18, not number 19. He bounced back just like I said he would. Breece Hall, but everyone, that's why I have Isaiah Pacheco at number 2. Everyone dominates the Denver D. Every single team, every single running back, no matter the star power, star level, no matter what it is, this is what they do is dominate the Denver Broncos. So now you have Breece Hall and the Jets, who I believe I'm missing who they're traveling to now. They are traveling to Philly. Okay, my bad. That's why I missed it. So think about what I said with Kyren Williams, right? Kyren Williams last week, and Breece Hall's snaps increased a ton last week, right? He went from 6 carries to 8 carries to 22 carries for a monster game, but they were also up in that game. Now you're going up against the Philly front. I mean, I'm going to put him here just because the rest of these matchups I don't like better, but Breece Hall is going to be on my sit-em this week, 100% versus Philly. Their front is stout. They just shut down Kyren Williams, who played 95% of the snaps to 6 points, man. So you think Zach Wilson is going to be scarier with Breece Hall than Matt Stafford was with Puka and Cooper Kupp and Kyren? I don't think so. So I'm going to leave Breece Hall at 18 this week. Number 19, it's time to get this guy back in the game, Ron. Riverboat Ron Rivera. We need to see Brian Robinson, man. I know the game scripts have got away, and Antonio Gibson's the pass catching back, which I don't like. I mean, I think Brian Robinson is so much better. It's ridiculous. But he gets Atlanta this week. Atlanta's strength is their pass D, which is why I said 1,000% bench Nico Collins last week on the post. And everyone on Twitter, everyone gave me shit. Nico Collins just came off a 34-point game. How you bench him? Look what happened. He had 5 points, man. AJ Terrell and Okuda are going to lock down Terry McLaurin. They're going to lock down Jahan Dotson, who really hasn't done much anyways. It would be the Logan Thomas show in targets. And if the Redskins can stay ahead or get ahead at any time in this game, then it will be the Brian Robinson game. And he's looked so good when they're ahead. He's just playing from behind so much that they can just pin their ears back and tee off on him, and it hasn't been there. That's why I have him at 19. I really like him more than 19, but until, I see the production that started early again, I'm going to leave him down at 19 for now. At number 20, and notice I do not have Jonathan Taylor on this list. At number 20 is going to be Rachaad White off the bye. He has a super tough matchup versus the Detroit run D, but the man's usage, again, so his usage is number 6, well, it was until the bye week, so I haven't done, added in the new ones yet, which I'll do on Twitter later. But Rachaad White was number 6 in usage before the bye week, which how can you let that off the field regardless, right? So you're like, oh, Kyren Williams played Philly. You still played him because he doesn't come off the field. The opportunities are always there. It's worth it either way, no matter what. Now, Aiden Hutchinson, that D-line is very nasty. McNeil in the middle, they are good. They are really good in Detroit, actually, versus the run. But I think the pass catching volume and just the volume itself will beat his projection. I'm going to probably put him on stardom anyways, even though I don't like the matchup at all. I just feel like they got to start leaning on Rachaad White more. And Tampa might win this game. That's honestly, they might. So, heading down to the sleeper tier, which is pretty much just tier 4, because there's a lot of running backs going today. So, I'm going to call number 21 DeAndre Swift and the Eagles. Now, Swift, some people are saying buy low candidate. I know he had his 2 blow-up games where they were crazy. This offensive line is so good that I'm not even sure if DeAndre Swift is really that good. But now you get the Jets. So now we're going to find out the first like really, really good defensive line that the Eagles have played all year. I mean, it's been kind of cakewalk matchups. That is why I have DeAndre Swift so low. I don't think he's going to have as big as game as others do. He is going to be on my sit-ems probably when I go through them. And it's just going to be a rough matchup for DeAndre Swift. And this could be one of those scary games. And I hate to say it, like I don't wish injury on anybody, but this could be one of those games where DeAndre Swift, you got to get nervous about. He could get hurt in this game. The Jets are nasty up front, and they're going to be bringing it to DeAndre Swift. I just know it. I feel it. So heading down to 22. It is super, super disappointing so far with Ramondre Stevenson. I don't know what is going on in New England. I mean, they're off 0 points, man. They just got shut out 35-0 by the Saints. And that's the worst part is I don't even think the Saints are that good. So I don't know if Belichick's just like trying to sabotage the Patriots on the way out or what's going on. But he's not even seeing his touches at all. And I know he had that injury in week 3, and they were saying it slowed him down. And everybody's saying he's a buy now candidate for the past 2 weeks. Like these are like top analysts that I'm talking about that are like, buy Ramondre Stevenson now. Okay, so since the buy now on Ramondre Stevenson has started, he has 13.9 fantasy points in 3 weeks. That is a 4.4 average, or 4.45, whatever, be precise, average per game. That's terrible. His carries went from 19 to 14 to 8. The yardage from 59 to 30 to 24. The receptions from 4 to 3 to 2. No touchdowns since week 2. I mean, it's just, I'm such a Ramondre fan too. It's crazy. Like, come on, Browns, call them. Let's go get Ramondre, or Ravens. Let's go do it, man. The Patriots, they got to look for the rebuild now. I mean, it's over in New England. They're not going to win anything. Even if they win the next 5 games, I still wouldn't say they're a contender. So Ramondre's stuck. He's just stuck in the mud in a bad situation. I'm such a Ramondre fan. Like, he's a top 10 running back, in my opinion. If he's like, put him on the Niners, bro. Or put him on Seattle, or put him on, Jacksonville. He'd be unbelievable. Or the Eagles, Jesus, he'd be running back 3. So it's just a bad situation for him. I really, really feel bad for him, but I am going to put him at number 22 at the moment, hoping that they can find some way to bring him back to life here. Number 23 is going to be Dameon Pierce. Now, he goes up against the Saints, and the Saints' run D has been actually very good this season. But what we like to see here from Dameon Pierce is that even in the Atlanta game, at least his snaps went up for the first time. So he was playing 50, 50, 55. He'd never played 60% snaps on the season until last week, which is a good sign. I know that, like I said last week, is you'll see more Dameon Pierce because Atlanta's pass D is better, which was true. So now you get the Saints, who Marcus Lattimore will probably get on, 100%. He'll be on Nico Collins. It'll be a tough matchup. You have Tank Dell with the injury. Should be another solid value game for Dameon Pierce. It's just a tough matchup. That is why I have him at number 23. At number 24, I'm not even going with Jonathan Taylor yet. If you have Jonathan Taylor, the only way I would say play him is if you are forced to still. He only saw 6 carries. He only saw 1 reception. It looks like they're going to work him back for a couple weeks here. They get Jacksonville. Jacksonville just absolutely shut out the Bills' run game. So, I mean, I did say sit Zach Moss last week versus Tennessee. He looked good, but I mean, he had 2 big runs and then, 15 to 16, 2 to 3 yard runs. So when you look at his numbers, if you didn't watch the game, it wasn't like Zach Moss was balling out with 10 to 20 yard carries. Now, he had like a 65 yard run that was just wide open, and like a 58 yard run that was, wide open, or not 50, it was like 40 something, but the rest of his carries were trash. So, I mean, I know that looks good on paper with the breakaway runs. Jonathan Taylor would have done the same thing if he was healthy. I don't buy that at all. But I'm going to put him over just because the volume's not there yet for Taylor, I don't think. I think next week will be unleashed. This week will be a little more. He'll probably see like 10 to 12 touches. But it's going to be week 7 where they unleash the beast. So I don't have him on here yet, but that is definitely, he's going to be on this list all day once he gets back into full gear here. At 25, I'm taking the shot. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to score his first NFL touchdown this week if he's healthy and playing. We don't know yet if he's back officially yet. I think I saw a thing that he was working on the sideline today in practice or whatever. Haven't fully seen anything from him, on the reports yet. But think about it. Are they really going to ride Montgomery again for 30 more carries against Carolina? Like, is this really what they want to do? I mean, they got to start using their first round pick that they traded up for at some point. He's too electric with the ball in his hands. You can see the difference between him and David Montgomery. It is not even close. I mean, his yards per carries are way better. It just, none of it makes sense to me. I guess it's just a coach love thing for David Montgomery or something. I don't understand, but why waste your pick if you're not going to use him? So it's got to start here soon. And an example would be like when Christian McCaffrey was drafted to the Panthers, their numbers are similar. Same age coming out, same numbers coming out through 5. Or I know he got hurt last week, so that, minus that one. But it's really kind of on track with, using a young rookie like that, which, makes me mad because I drafted him in a couple leagues. But it's going to come here soon. The explosion is coming. I know it is. It's coming. Buy low if you can. You could even get him for super low right now because people are super mad that wasted a high pick on him. I mean, they're still going to hold out in their head thinking that it's going to happen if they're smart. But if you're smart, you can get him on the cheap right now. And then for the last 3 down here, remember I kept Jonathan Taylor off this week. Jerome Ford plays the Niners. Get him out of your lineup. Alexander Madison, I do not like at all, especially with Justin Jefferson gone. Cam Akers will probably get more and more involved. He had 20% snaps, 35% snaps. And Miles Sanders just got out-carried by Chuba Hubbard. So I fear if you didn't sell on Miles Sanders, Jerome Ford, and Alexander Madison, like I said, you're here now, man. And remember, Najee Harris on a bye. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon on the bye, same with Jaylen Warren, and the major injuries are Devon Achane, James Conner, and Khalil Herbert. And that is it for my running back tiers for week 6, guys. If you like the content, as always, scroll down below, like and subscribe. You help your boy out. It helps me a ton. I will catch you in the next one, guys. I'm out. Peace.